Well, hello, hello, my lovely, luscious lions. How are you guys? So, we're going to be talking about what's happened already in October and how it's going to end, what's affecting you. And I apologize for you not being able to see the tarot or my face. I am on travel, and it's just really a struggle to try to put the other camera up. So, we're just going to figure this out and wing it. All right, so in the beginning of October, this is the 13th today, but in the beginning of October, we had Pluto going direct. And so Pluto's been retrograde since April 2018. Pluto is that underlying sort of soul's path and understanding, and where it's placed in your chart is where you leave your legacy. It's your evolvement. I am going to do a Pluto series, but I wanted to kind of go over because even though it's not like this big, well, it's a big change if you look at it on a soul's level, but you may not like see it in your everyday life. But things could be changing for you. But this may give you some answers as to where you've been, why it's been happening this way, and where you're going. And that's kind of why I want to talk about it just a little bit. So, Pluto in this particular house of yours is in the house of your daily activities, of your health and well-being, of your lifestyle. So, Pluto being in the opposite house of, your subconscious, this is sort of the conscious area and the issues of how you can change your life for the better, right? And so Pluto went into Capricorn in this house for you in 2008. Now, Pluto in this house is teaching you that you matter. Pluto is going to teach you that you have all you need and more, and that you, who you are and how you want to be of service. That's what Pluto teaches you in this particular area as it transits in your house. It won't finish transiting this house till 2023, so we still have some growth to do in it. But in this may be why some of your life has changed. Like, Pluto is the planet of death and rebirth. Pluto is the planet of power, right? And Pluto teaches us that we are enough on our own. But in this particular area where it's transiting for you, you begin to question, who am I? And then you begin to question, how can I be of service? So you begin in 2008 and to question, who am I in the grander scheme of things? So like as above, so below. Why I matter, because I could be micro or I could be macro, right? So by the end of this, and then then you open that heart where you want to be of service to others, right? Because you understand the rippling effect of how this plays out in the grander or the bigger scheme of things, right? And so what you ultimately learn when Pluto finishes transiting here is who I am, and you will be able to consciously learn how to change your perspective from the micro to the macro. So like, I matter, so my things matter, but also I can be in power and lead where not only my stuff matters, but others matter as well. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's kind of what's been going on. And since in 2018, you probably thought you had a handle on it. You probably had some transformation, because when it transits in this house, you could have like maybe new position, maybe bigger position in your work or company, maybe some sort of transformation in that. And also you could have had some transformation or things going on with your health or an illness or disease. So your work could have been involved, maybe that you had to work less because of an illness. Maybe you were changing your lifestyle so that, like, I can give you an example of maybe you had, the beginnings of diabetes, right? Type 2 diabetes, and maybe you begin to change your lifestyle and lost weight and started eating better. And then you, by changing your lifestyle, by changing your eating habits, because maybe it was affecting your job, maybe it was affecting your position, and I know it was affecting you, but maybe because you did these changes, you were able to, set that set your blood work normal, right? Does that make sense? Like you didn't get diabetes, or you've now come far away from the diabetes, right? Um, and so this is probably since 2008, some of these changes were going on. So there could be transformation in your health. There could be transformation in your lifestyle. This is about you dealing with learning how to deal with guilt and understanding that you matter and why you feel the way that you feel. Understanding to have empathy for yourself and not just others, but for yourself and how much you matter, and to love yourself. And so, again, by the end, you'll be able to see who you really are, why you matter, even though you may be one in 7 or 8 billion people on the planet, but how that affects everyone and even beyond this dimension. Make sense? So with this retrograde, you may have had a handle on some things, and then when the retrograde came in April, you maybe had to change or tweak your lifestyle again, or amend, reworking, amending and reworking and reorganizing, and things are needing, so you may have had some changes going on, and now that it's direct, some other changes may be going on with that has to do with your daily activity, your health and well-being, the work that you do, not like their public eye, but like the work, like your everyday work, maybe changing your lifestyle. Make sense? So Saturn's been in there working this, so there's been a lot of delays. Maybe things weren't going your way, but now that it's direct, it was retrograde, but now that it's direct, and as it gets closer, there's going to be this huge transformation in your life changing, right? And so not only that happened in the beginning of October, but then we had Venus retrograde. And so Venus is retrograding for you in this house where you feel safe, where you feel comfortable, where you feel secure, where you feel happy, right? So what was making you safe or is making you feel comfortable and happy, Venus is in there sort of having you relook at that and amend that and revise that, and that won't finish out until December. I'm going to do a Venus retrograde series too. I'm doing the Pluto, and then I'm doing the Venus as soon as I finish these in the Novembers. So I'll tell you more about that. Now, for now, on the 13th, the 14th, so the 13th, which is today, we have Venus squaring Mars, right? And so Venus, again, is in that place where it's your lineage. Maybe you're dealing with family. Maybe you're dealing with, where you came from. Maybe you're dealing with relationships about that, or money about that, or maybe whatever this is, it's about you feeling safe and comfortable and happy, right? And so with this square with Mars, Mars is in this house of relationships. So this house of relationships is a mirroring house. It's about boundaries. It's about setting your boundaries and how you want to love and how you want to be loved, right? And why are the people around you? Why are they around you? Who are they, and why are they around you? What do you take from them? What do they take from you? And so with Mars and Venus, there's this square going on, and so there could be, the square is always this tension, so there could be this tension coming up. Also, it could be, because we have Mars and Venus, you could meet somebody through family, or because this has to do with relationships, so you could meet a partner through family. You could meet a partner through you, and this could be business partner or love partner. You could meet a partner through, working on something with your family, or working on something that makes you feel happy, or working in an area that makes you feel safe and secure. So that could be going on too. Then we have this trine going on from Saturn to Uranus from the 13th. I think it's the 13th and the 14th. Yeah. So, and then you'll have the moon too. So you have this trine, which is an opportunity. You'll still have this square going on, so there's this tension about putting your boundaries down, about why people are here, about reworking the relationships that you have. And then this trine, Uranus likes to change things up, and it has to do with Saturn. So there's this opportunity in this house that we've been discussing about how you feel, feeling safe and comfortable, you know, what that's about for you. And so, um, I'm sorry, so this is the house of safe and comfortable, but this Saturn, because of Pluto, who am I? Um, what's going on with, you know, my daily activity? How can I change my lifestyle? Is this person, because Taurus, Uranus is in your 10th house of career. So this thing about you, um, changing your daily activity, you may get more responsibility. Maybe you get the position that you want because this is your house of careers, your house of reputation. Maybe the way that you do something changes your reputation. So there's an opportunity here for that to change. There's an opportunity for a bigger position. If you've been working on this in this your lifestyle, so like if you've been putting more work into it, if you've been really focused on it, that could be happening. But this has to do, like, maybe this position is not going to allow you to spend as much time with your family, with your friends, with your partner, with a loved one. Like that could be the square and this trine. That could be going on too. But this square also, so this square is in your house. This north node is in your house. So this career change or this career reputation, whatever's going on here, there's some tension here about where you want to go, about the things that you see for yourself, because that's the north node, about the things you want to grow into, and that's in your house, having to do with your career, with your lifestyle, with you, because your lifestyle is involved, with your lifestyle and with, yeah, your lifestyle, your career, your reputation. That makes sense? Okay. So then we have on the 17th, yeah, I think it's the 17th. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's the 17th, 16th, 17th, 18th. So it kind of depends on where you are in the world. You're going to have Mars squaring Mercury. So you have Mars squaring Mercury. And you also have this Venus squaring the moon. And this is all in your house where it makes you feel comfortable and safe and secure, but it's also in this house of relationships. So on these days, be careful with this tension because you could say something that offends someone, or maybe put your foot down too much, or maybe somebody does that to you and it resets the relationship boundaries, right? This is felt, that could be felt on this emotional level because this is the moon and because Mars is involved with Venus, right? But this is changing how you feel. Like maybe you finally set your foot down with the people around you, or maybe a business partner, or maybe a good friend, or maybe a lover, or maybe like whatever this relationship is. Could be, you know, yeah, business partner or personal partner. Maybe these boundaries are reset. Maybe something gets said, right? But remember, Mars wants to do things right away. But we have this trine, so there's a message. So Mercury is with Mars. There's going to be this message that's being given. But then there's Mercury is also trining Neptune. And so what I say with this is when you get the message, or when you offend somebody, or when somebody offends you, if that happens to you during these days, the 16th, 17th, 18th, somewhere through there, if you take the bigger perspective, because that's Neptune, if you try to understand, remember that Pluto thing too. If you're trying to understand, if you take a second to like get into your higher self and say, you know, maybe they weren't feeling well, that's not how they usually act, or maybe I said it wrong, maybe I could have been a lot softer saying it, or maybe I could have been a lot clearer saying it, or maybe, you know, if you take this bigger perspective, there's an opportunity for you to move forward in this, right? Because that's what this trine is. But Neptune is that bigger energy. It's that stepping into the bigger self and not just seeing yourself, but seeing someone else as well, and like incorporating those two. And so there's an opportunity here for you to get what you want, for them to get what they want, for everybody to kind of get what they want, even though there's this tension, even though there's a square, even though it may be emotional. And that's a big thing because Leos come from their heart, right? And so when somebody hurts you, it hurts. It hurts. It's emotional. It hurts because your heart, you come from your heart. So, but if you just take a breath and take a break for a minute and then try to get into the bigger perspective of maybe that's just the way that they were always talked to when they were young, so that's the way that they relay a message. Like, just try to think of the bigger picture, and there could be this big healing, this big understanding where everybody can get what they want. Make sense? Then, on the 24th, the 24th, we have this full moon in Taurus. So again, Uranus and Taurus, there's something coming in your career, in your public life, in your reputation. There's something here with this full moon, because when it's a full moon, there's light being shown in an area that you hadn't been able to see, so that it clears up, so that you can let go of what no longer serves you. So maybe it's that you relieve yourself of some of these responsibilities so that you can really focus on the things that you want to, right? Maybe you finally get that position and you're moving on to the next level, whatever this is, because Uranus is involved here. There's this transition going on, there's this letting go, there's this healing, right, and moving forward. So that's going to be going on the 24th. That's the full moon in Taurus. But again, I'll have the full moon video. I have a new moon video already. I'll attach everything in the description link box below or at the end of this video. I have the pick of cards that y'all can go pick and see what's going on coming in the next couple of weeks for tarot. Remember that you have this square going on, so there is this change coming with you and your career, with you and your reputation, with you and the way that you see yourself or people see you, and having to do with your lifestyle, having to do with your safety, your security, to make you happy, right? Okay, so then on the 29th or 30th or 28th or 31st, it kind of depends on where you are in the world, we have this grand trine. So the grand trine is going to involve Mercury, so there's a message coming. Mercury, Jupiter's involved. We have Chiron, which is that old wound, that wounded thing that just doesn't seem to go away, and then the moon. So this is felt on an emotional level. This is here to bring you emotional fulfillment. Some of you eventually, because you can get stubborn, but this message or this understanding of realizing that so this message coming from Scorpio, this deep thing that you've been working on, this deep understanding having to do with this old wound, and this opportunity maybe could be karmic, could be coming in a dream, could be coming from someone from a past life, could be because that's this house. But it's this understanding that you have, and whatever it is with this message, it's going to help you feel fulfilled. Some of you not right away, some of you eventually, because I can see where some of you get stubborn, but some of you right away, some of you eventually, okay? So that's going to sort of end out. You know, the Grand Trine is a divinely guided gift, and this is felt on an emotional level, okay? So moving on to your tarot cards, and then I will be doing November's probably tomorrow and the next day. So your tarot reading has to do, I pulled the first card, and the first card, this is your stance, this is what's going to be going on in the next couple of weeks. You have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands to me tells me that I don't see that you're like all of a sudden just saying something and battling what you, or standing for what you believe in, but I feel like you get help, and I am feeling like this with the Five of Wands, like you get help and realize that you're not alone, and that's like on the emotional part, but on the physical part, I do feel like you have to take some action in this thing that's coming to finish up. Okay, because some of you, it's like, I mean, we could be talking about divorce. We could be talking about a past marriage. We could be talking about, yeah, I'm feeling like this thing has was thought to be laid to rest, and then it's come up again, and that's that Venus retrograde. And so with the Five of Wands, I feel like you'll have to be taking action. You'll have to be doing something, right, to stand your ground. So when the second card I pulled was the Sun card, and that's Spirit's advice. That's their advice in this situation. And they're saying with the Sun, first of all, that's you, right? The Sun. In order for you to get to this point, and this point is coming for you, you have to clear this stuff out. There's things that you need to take care of so that you can move on to the next phase. And some of it you thought you took care of, and you know that's totally understandable. Where yeah, I thought I took care of it, but it's not my fault that you know they're bringing it back up, or somebody else is coming back in, or da 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 da. But they're saying go with the flow. Just know that if it needs, this is the time for it to complete. If go in and do what you feel is right, or what you think that you want to do, because remember, this is about who am I and how can I be of service, right? This is what you're learning. And again, Pluto's not going to end until 2023, but I'm feeling like towards the end of this month, this is about clearing out. But when you clear this out, you're aligning with yourself. Opportunities come up because it opens up. It's aligning. It's clearing stuff out. Some of it is old residual stuff that you just refused at some point. You're like, no, I don't want to deal with that anymore, or I'm just going to pretend it's something else. That's not everybody, but that's some people. Then to end it, you have, and what comes about it is the Magician. So what I feel with the Magician with you guys by the end of this, by the end of October, maybe in the first week of November, I feel like you're very strong in your conviction about, like, you're very clear. I know what I want. I know what I'm going to do. And maybe I had to, like, eat my words, but it was better for me and for everybody else. And so I've grown, and I understand that sometimes my temper can get away with me, but I've looked at the bigger picture, and I can see where everybody's, you know, gonna be better, right? And so I feel like you take from your, like, your bag of tricks, the Magician. Like, you take from your resources, you take from your past experiences, and you finagle this so that, maybe finagle is not the right word, because I don't feel like it's a trickery thing. I feel like it's like some peace of mind that you give yourself. Yeah, it's like for the first time in a long time, some peace of mind that you give yourself. Yeah, that's the only way I can explain this Magician card to you. So my gorgeous ones, thank you so very much for putting up with me, for always watching me. I'm going to get better, I promise. I love you, love you, love you. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in a couple days. Bye.